Really the question, are we haunted by the generations that come before? Are we capable of transforming and transmuting that energy into something new? Do we really have agency ourselves?
The ultimate freedom is being able to unpack and understand the things that haunted me
Mm,
as a child in my family of origin, the humans and the interactions in this family and my part in it, and just feeling haunted for like I knew in my bones that some things were not right.
mm,
But the work that I've done,
mm.
the layers, the unpeeling of the onion, I have a whole sense of peace and understanding about it, and not pour pink paint over some bad behavior for the freedom from that story. And it doesn't live in me anymore.
Yeah.
It just doesn't live there.
Yeah. That's freedom.
It just doesn't live there. And so I'm coming from a whole different beingness. And so then what can
Mm.
occur in my life at 72 from this higher level of beingness?
We have so
Like we
much
have so
fun.
much fun. We like behind the scenes, like on a daily basis, we are laughing and joking, and
Things are fun at Camp Moon.
they are fun at Camp Moon.
What do you argue about the most and how do you work through it? I mean, I know that our relationship is maybe a source of fascination for some people. Like, what the
Like
hell is this? What is
what is
happening
wrong
here?
with
This is The Becoming, a podcast about the sacred and powerful journey of awakening and becoming who you truly are.
We're your hosts, Kate and Judy Moon. As a mother-daughter duo with many years of experience in coaching and personal transformation and lifetimes of wisdom between us, together we explore what it truly means to come alive, living with deeper meaning and purpose, breaking generational chains, reclaiming freedom, and guiding the soul's return to wholeness.
Through soulful conversations about healing, transformation, and the power of MDMA-assisted therapy, along with raw, behind-the-scenes reflections and insights that illuminate the path forward, we invite you into a journey that's not just about healing your past. It's about breaking through the invisible barriers that have kept you stuck and finally stepping into the life you've always known you were meant for.
Whether you're in the middle of a heartbreak, an awakening, a breakdown, or a breakthrough, you're not alone. This is The Becoming.
All right. So in today's episode, we are going to kick off a new series called Q&A with K and J. So this is a chance for you as our audience to ask us any questions. No holds barred. Everything's on the table. So this is everything from specific questions about coaching to things about the two of us to MDMA, all of the things. So again, nothing's off the table.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
And yeah, we have no idea what exactly is going to come out today. So, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So we put
Okay.
a question box out on Instagram, and so we compiled some questions, and we also have questions that like our clients have been curious about over the years, etc. So we'll sprinkle these episodes in every now and again, and feel free to reach out to us if you have questions that you would like us to include in the next one.
Because we really love these conversations.
We really like the unhinged off the cuff conversations. These are
We
like really
do.
where we feel like we shine, guys. You may or may not agree at the end of this. We shall see.
We'll see.
All right. So the first question is, what is one thing about each of you that would surprise people who only know you from the podcast?
Uh-oh.
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 Well, okay. The thing about Jude's, I mean, and I think that you can see some of this shining throughout the episodes, but Jude's is so fun and so alive, and truly, I mean, we had a family friend who once dubbed her the hummingbird on acid, and this is so Judy frickin' Moon.
Oh my God.
right now, this probably will air out later, but recently the very sad news of Diane Keaton's passing just came down the pike. So of course we've seen so many clips of her all week.
Hysterical.
I mean,
Just,
in her movie she's so
oh,
hysterical, but in the interview she's so freaking cute.
she's so adorable and
But this
so
is
real.
but this is how I see you, Jude. It's like I really feel like you and Diane Keaton are twin souls,
Oh my
twin
gosh. Oh my
flames,
gosh.
kindred spirits.
What a compliment that is.
I mean, but you have this like silliness in you, and it's like a quirkiness, and it's almost like a ditziness, but not in a negative way and not in a stupid way, but like you can just be so freaking funny and so unhinged. It's hysterical.
Back at you.
I don't have like the same level of it though. Like, you know, Diane, she was just such an individual, and that's really how I see you.
Oh.
So that's what I would say is that I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of the subject matter that we cover and that we talk about can be really serious here. You know, we're talking about childhood trauma and like generational, you know, wounds and deep healing. And so I'm not sure if all of that can come through because, you know,
it's not appropriate.
right.
In those
conversations
necessarily, but
we also do like to keep things light. Like that's something that you and I value a lot,
and we have a lot of fun. We have so much fun. We like behind the scenes, like on a daily basis, we are laughing and joking, and
things are fun at Camp Moon.
They are fun at Camp Moon. I know, we have so much.
We have a lot of fun here at Camp Moon.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, well now it's my turn.
Okay.
So let me.
I'm worried.
I know, you should be worried.
What is one thing about me that would surprise people who only know us from the podcast?
Well, some people may think that you're a little snooty. I mean, not necessarily from the podcast, because a lot of you does come out. The truth of really who you are. You know, like in real life, if they saw you on Instagram, is that real life? No,
assuredly not.
No, I caught myself. No, but if they saw you on Instagram, or someone saw you from afar, or up on a stage, or something like that, because I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. I mean, it's anybody who would be like, and you hold yourself with such grace. And that maybe like that you have this sense of aboveness, which is so not true. Like
I hope not.
No, you have such heart and you are so kind. You do not have this air of like, I'm just the next best thing, you know. You don't, Kate. You are not like this person that is focusing always on you and like how you look and how you appear and, you know, having to put on the mask. I mean, you just don't. You just are a beautiful human being inside and out. And it happens to show on the outside. But I think the truth of it is a lot of times when someone is so pleasant to view from the outside, that people make up things about that person,
right,
that really aren't true. And so what I love is that we get to do this and people get to know you, who you really are. And I know who you are as the coach that you are, and how much care that you have for the humans, other people, and what a good friend you are. What a good friend you are. You always think about someone else's needs and feelings. It's just, it comes naturally to you. And people may not know that about you, but I do. I know that about you.
You know what I always felt is that the highest form of love is consideration. You know, really thinking about the people that are in our lives and knowing them intimately and thinking ahead and considering their feelings or considering their needs. I mean, that's definitely something that you and I both do really naturally and really beautifully in each other's lives.
We do.
Yeah.
We consider each other. Like
deeply.
I consider, it just comes naturally to consider your needs. And I'm on the receiving end of your consideration and feel really seen.
Yeah. Vice versa.
And cared for.
Vice versa. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that we can do with others.
For the people that we care
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
And
Consider them,
honestly,
see them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in this world today, sometimes we don't really always see that, do we?
No, no,
Yeah.
that's not very
Yeah.
common. Oh, I love this.
No.
Oh, this is fun.
Okay. 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 What else?
Oh, this is a good one.
Uh-oh.
What do you argue about the most and how do you work through it? I hate to break it to you guys.
Guess what?
We don't freaking argue like ever.
It's insane. I mean, if
I know
I
that sounds like so irritating
no, it does.
and like Pollyannish. We really don't. We never have. Like when I was growing up, we never argued about anything. Like,
I mean, I did not have the typical teenage daughter who was like confronting every single thing that I said
and
and
rebellious.
rebellious.
Not at all.
No. I mean, we've always been buds.
I know. We really
I mean,
have.
even, you know, Kate, as you as a little girl. I mean, we were buds.
Well, and I think that that really speaks to how you raised us in general, is that you always treated me like an equal and like an adult.
I was going to say like an adult.
Like an adult. Well, you didn't talk down to me. Like, this is
No.
one of the things that you and I, inside of our relationship today, we really have no hierarchy at all.
I mean, I'm proud to be your mother, but you are your own being, your own self. I do not take even credit for being like your mother. It's all, you.
Oh, like I produced this.
Your brilliance
Well,
is
I
all
mean,
about me.
there was
No.
a lot of molding and shaping that definitely occurred and a lot of guidance. And I really look back on that and I see that really clearly for what it was that it feels like there's like a vibe of like midwifing a human. Like it's the person, the human is doing the heavy lifting, but you were there as a guide always. And you definitely helped to direct things in certain ways and directions. Like, and there were absolutely expectations about, you know, how I was being in the world in terms of like, from school, like that, I tried. Like it wasn't that I was expected to get perfect grades, but the expectation was that I try, that I really do my best.
I remember too, you playing the violin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, like as a parent guiding this whole violin journey, that I did expect you to practice.
Yeah. And I didn't always want to,
No.
but I wasn't like, I think,
Rebellious about it.
but I also kind of like, I always saw the trajectory of like what you were trying to get me to understand and learn. Like I understood that this was a conversation about discipline.
And it was a conversation around commitment.
Right.
And follow through.
Yeah.
And what you say you want to do, you follow through.
Yeah.
And sometimes even when it
sucks, when you don't want to,
yeah.
when you're bored from it.
Well, I remember. Do you remember the treasure hunts?
Oh, I do. Who were you? Who does this? Are you kidding me? Yeah. So Judes would put together, in order to get me to practice, bless her heart, she would literally
we would make an agreement.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of thing that we did. We would come together and make an agreement about something.
Yeah.
It wasn't like me telling you had to do something.
Like you just need to do this. And
No,
like,
no,
I'm
no.
the authority here. And so
Uh-uh.
there was none of that. Again, it was very like, we've always been shoulder to shoulder. So Judes would create these scavenger hunts and
we'd make it fun.
And like the clue would end me up in the chicken coop. And then it'd be like, I don't know, like play Minaret number 2 or whatever it was.
Exactly. Vivaldi number, whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
I know. Isn't that funny? We don't remember those.
I don't.
And I say we because
you were involved.
When you're a Suzuki learner,
yeah,
the parent is
very involved.
Very
yeah,
involved.
And
yeah.
you were.
I mean, I was not the musician, but I was the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
But we did it in a fun way, so that you didn't hate it.
Yeah.
But I remember having little chocolate chips that you would. Do you remember those?
Of course. This is how ridiculous it was. It was like 2 chocolate chips. You know what it reminds me of?
Because another piece to all of this is I've always been obsessed with like eating well.
Well, it
and
reminds me of
healthy.
Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy the Labrador. She is so obsessed with food, and this poor dog, like she'll get excited with like one piece of kibble, and that's like what it reminds me of is this kid that's like, I get two chocolate chips. Like I'll play anything. Like spin plates, monkey, spin plates for two chocolate chips. This is so sad.
Oh my God. Because that was the treasure at the end of the rainbow.
I know. Yeah. So
Oh,
I clearly
anyway.
clearly was bribed.
Yes.
So anyway, we really don't argue,
We
which
don't.
is, I know it probably sounds ridiculous,
Yeah.
but we really
No,
don't.
we just don't.
You and I have always been really close buds, and we've always, I think we just came into this life with a really deep mutual respect for one another. And
And I
we
you
really
know,
are like best
I
friends.
know, I
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
and we're really fortunate. I mean,
And it's really cool. We have a close friend who she has teenage daughters, and she's in that
mm,
transition place right now between really being mom, which you really were. Again, you were really flying the plane and helping to shape us as humans and making sure that like we had jobs and that we were doing well in school and
well,
that we had
Kate,
our priorities
you got your
straight.
first job when you were 11.
I know.
I mean, this is the thing. I remember that summer. Matthew was working at the adventure
Hmm.
company. Is that
Hmm.
what's called? Yeah. It was like a outdoor kind of a
A children's
camp.
camp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the summer. And here's Kate at like 11. I mean, honestly, where a lot of her friends were going to summer camps and going to these kind of expensive dance camps and all this kind of thing,
Drama camps,
yeah, we just
singing.
didn't really have the excess
Hmm.
to do that. And so I'm looking at this like, what are we gonna do all summer?
Well, like she's not sitting home with me. Like
And
I have
you're not gonna sit home and watch TV all summer.
no.
I mean, that is not gonna be it. So I suggested that you talk to the owner of the adventure company and to see if maybe you could volunteer. And you were willing. See, this is the thing. You were always a good egg about things, you know? You were. But it was like, well, what if you could, just volunteer?
Yeah.
And Kate, you worked there, you volunteered for maybe 2 weeks and you had a friggin' paying job in like within 2 weeks because
Yeah.
they saw how awesome you are and how responsible you were and how amazing you worked with special needs kids.
Yeah.
I mean, like what 11-year-old?
But so this friend of ours, she's in this transition place right now where her teenagers are becoming young women and they're in that like we've been watching her as she steps more into maybe the role that you have been in
Mhm.
because she's watched us over the years. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
our relationship is maybe a source of fascination for some people. Like, what the
Like,
hell is this? What is
what is
happening
wrong
here?
with them?
But I think something that we've always seen is that people that haven't understood our relationship when they first meet us, when they come into the fold and they come more into the inner circle, they're like, wow, this is actually really cool and it's really fascinating. I've never seen anything
I've
like
never
this.
seen anything like this.
And I think that people, their eyes kind of are open to a whole new possibility of like how mother-daughter relationships can go.
Yeah,
And I think it's really cool when appropriately so in age that there isn't a hierarchy. I mean, if you were still kind of trying to come in and like mother me and had like
that wouldn't work very well.
we wouldn't be able to do what we
I
do.
wouldn't have an interest in that actually anyway.
Well, no,
We
but if
I
if you were
remember
if you were doing that, and I've yeah, actually, interestingly, some of your female friends have
Mhm.
kind of done that to me over the
Oh, I
years,
know they
and I'm
have.
like, "What? I don't even recognize what this is. This
Uh,
is so weird. This is like this like hovering mother thing. Like
uh,
I don't have that.
no, it
This
was
is weird."
really weird. I remember at around probably maybe 10, Kate, a good friend of mine, Christelle, she would come and visit with me.
Yeah.
And we gotta, include you in our fun that we would
I
have
know you'd
as
be like pulling out tarot cards
yeah,
and like
totally
lighting candles and
having
talking about personal development,
uh,
honestly. And I was like, I'd love to be at that table.
and I knew you would.
Well, and she was open to it too, and not everyone would
Yeah.
be.
I mean, she was
It
yeah,
was so
it was
cool,
so wonderful,
and
but
I felt like I got to be part of, like, the red tent.
yeah,
Like,
yes,
the tribe of women.
the
It was
tribe of
really
women.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love that idea too, though, how we welcome the younger generation into the fold
that's what it felt like. It was like I
and
was brought
how
in.
yeah,
It was really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Great,
So, all
great
right,
memories.
guys, we don't argue.
Yes.
Okay, so
What else?
what are your current obsessions? A book, song, or food you can't get enough of? That's a great question. Okay,
You want to start?
so
You start.
you guys know that we are both voracious, avid readers. We both are a little
Yeah.
obsessed with reading and with books
And you
and with
may not know that
literature.
actually.
Yeah,
Probably might see Kate posting some of that on social
I'm
media.
always sharing my latest
Yeah.
read.
But we
Yeah.
always, we do not own a television. I mean, if we wanted to watch anything, we obviously can do it on the computer.
I think
Um,
the only movie that we've seen so far this year is Conclave. We watched it together.
we
That
did.
was a great movie.
Okay,
But I
so
think we've literally
so
seen one, and it's October right now,
I was gonna say
mid-October when we're recording
it's
this.
October.
We've seen one movie all year.
Conclave. Conclave.
Although,
Although we have some plans.
so we are getting on a plane, and by the time this airs, we will be in Italy likely, or maybe at the end of our trip. But so we're going to Italy I'm going for 3 weeks. Juice is going for 2, and I wouldn't be surprised if we watch some Diane Keaton movies on the plane if they're available.
We're hoping so because
Like I want to see Something's Gotta Give
oh,
again.
that was so good. And we never saw what was it called?
Annie
Annie Hall. We
Hall.
never saw that.
I know we need to see that. Like
Totally.
honor her.
Just
First
totally.
Wives Club, I
First,
would die to watch that
oh,
again. I remember
that.
watching that as a kid. I was like maybe 8 when it came out and being like, "These women are the coolest."
I just got the chills up and down my body. Just those two women are just those three badass
I
women.
know.
Just so adorable, so cute.
So both of us recently finished the book East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I finished it a few nights ago. I finished it at like 10 p.m. and I was like inconsolable. I am still reeling from this.
I had
I
to
was like
watch.
sobbing for like 2 hours at the end of this. I was just so touched by it. I was so you had read it first and then
I
you
read it and
handed it over to me.
I was like dying to talk about it as I was going. So that's what we do all the time. We talk about
We
things.
read
And then
things
we share like
or listen to things and then we talk about it.
then we talk about
Yeah.
it. And I was dying for you to
I
finish it, but I was
know.
on the edge of my seat. It's an amazing book about the human condition, and it just reminded me so much of our MDMA journeys
Mhm.
about life and the human condition and
Families,
trauma and families,
generational
generation.
patterns
Yeah.
and the way that we are well, or really the question, are we haunted by the generations that come before? Are we capable of transforming and transmuting that energy into something new? Do we really have agency ourselves?
This is 100% MDMA
It
journey.
was honestly, that's one of my favorite books and I've read, I don't know, 40 books this year so
Yeah.
far. So
And I think that book, Kate, oh, actually, it came out in 1954,
yeah,
a year after I was born,
yeah,
actually. Yeah, we're not going to say too much more because we don't, if really it
go
wouldn't be,
read East of Eden.
it's,
It's really one of the
it,
greatest. Oh,
it's a big one. And it's supposedly his magnum opus. And it really is.
yeah.
It really is. Grapes of Wrath is next for me, except A Farewell to Arms might beat it
Might
because
come to Italy.
might come to Italy because it's all about Italy.
I know.
And I did do The Grapes of Wrath years ago,
Yes, I mean, I did in high school, and I
but
need to
I
read it
want to read it
again.
again
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because John Steinbeck is just amazing.
Both of us, the books that we're drawn to are all about the human condition. So the other one that we read this year that has been so poignant is Our Town, and it's the play by Thornton Wilder.
So
It is
this,
I just got chills just thinking about it. Honestly, that was another one. It's really quick. It's 3 quick acts, and it's one of those that if I had read it in high school, I would have been like, "What is this crap? Like, this is so boring."
it's like so slow and so boring. It's
And then you read it
interesting.
as an adult and you're like, "This is one of the most poignant things I have ever read in my life." And again, I got to the end and I was just sobbing. Like I think about it
Oh, oh,
every single day. And we talk about it. Like,
we talk about it
yeah,
every single day.
yeah,
And here's the thing, if you have not read a play since maybe you were in high school or maybe ever,
ever, yeah,
it's a very different read.
Right.
You have to kind of you have to get used to it as you start reading.
Because you're reading the parts like Stage Manager and Emily and,
And
Mrs. Gibbs and
and you just and then you find yourself in the play. If you can kind of imagine it, close your eyes and really imagine what it would look like.
Mhm.
Then you get in the swing of things.
Yeah.
But it is the most poignant read and will last a lifetime for you
Yeah.
if you choose to really take it to heart.
Yeah. It's
Because
really about the incredible, incredible power of the ordinary day. And can we really stay present and look around and absorb the gifts of the present moment enough? And really the answer being is that we never
we never
do. We
can.
never do. Like we're so busy, we're rushing through life. And so that's like one of our this year's obsessions.
And it's not that we've just told you everything about the book,
Not at
and
all.
no, because when you read it yourself, it's your own experience, and it's a beautiful read.
And it will stick with you for a lifetime. It's one that we assign to clients, actually.
We do.
And then I mean, and it's one that they'll be like, "Oh, I just read it this evening. Like I read the whole thing in an evening." And they're like, "I'm inconsolable. I'll
Yeah,
never stop sobbing."
yeah.
What else have you and I been obsessed with? I mean, you and I
Okay,
are
well, I know. Okay, my obsessions. Um, that little white muffin that's taking a nap as we
she's so cute in her bed right now.
record
Oh
this
my gosh,
podcast,
I know.
and she's such a sweetie. She's 10 years old,
70-pound Labrador.
70-pound Labrador, and we just adore her. So I'm obsessed.
We're both
We're
obsessed.
both obsessed with Izzy.
I mean, the joke
Izzy Elizabeth.
is that like all day long we'll be like, "Oh, you have to come look at the dog." And like she's making the same face she's made every day for 10 years straight. But look how cute she is today.
Right now.
She's never been this cute.
Well, and that's actually really very much our town.
I
It's like
know.
appreciating the moments.
Stop what you're
Stop,
doing
pause. It's
and be
like,
in the present.
yeah, it's like, so I'm busy doing something, and I'm been some project, I'm trying to get some work done, and Izzy decides that right now she wants to grab
Her new hedgehog.
her new hedgehog and play with it. And we don't have another dog. So she doesn't have anybody to play with except us. And it's like, okay. Like,
All right,
okay,
put the computer
we,
down.
this dog is alive.
This
She's
dog is
here. She's
alive.
with us.
And she's had a health condition for a couple of
2.5
years.
years.
And so that,
We're so grateful that she's with us.
we just say every day with Izzy Moon is a
It's
gift.
a gift.
Every
day.
moment
Yeah.
is a gift.
So she's an
She's an
obsession.
obsession.
And
We have a mountain that we're
okay, I was
obsessed
just
with.
saying, hello, Adelia.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a mountain that I've been climbing for, Kate,
I
how
think
many
we
years?
decided it was like 24 years.
24 years.
Yep.
And
I've done
then,
it intermittently. I was not a hiker,
well, in high
a
school, you
fan of
didn't
hiking.
really dig it.
I got
Wasn't your
into
thing.
it when I was like 18 and 19, and then I haven't lived here much.
Lived in California on flat
On
land.
flat, like walking on pavement. So
Like-
now I have become a vertical girl.
And she's
I appreciate
Oh,
the mountain goating.
so we have poles
Yep.
and hiking
poles.
boots,
Yep.
and we just bam it up the hill. It's not the hill; it's a mountain.
It's a mountain, and
It's
it's tough.
1,000 feet elevation.
Yep.
Up, and then we go down the backside.
We laugh because you think when you work out enough that like eventually you kind of get used to the workout. We're like, no matter what you do, no matter how often you do it, it kicks your ass.
It's always hard.
It's always hard.
It's always
like it
hard.
never really gets easier.
No, it's really tough. It's the best exercise ever.
I know.
And Kate, you're obsessed with ballet.
I am. I've had a foot injury for several months, which has been a big downer, but it's interesting. I really have been trying to glean the lessons, and because it's just like either that or I'm just glean the gold, either that or I'm just miserable, because I've had to sit out for months. And that's part of just like, surrendering into life sometimes.
Healing takes time, as it turns out.
Takes time.
Yeah, this has been yet another metaphor with our healing journeys. It takes time.
Well, in my last MDMA journey, I had some time just by myself, and I went and I sat out in the sunshine and I communed with my foot, guys. Yeah, I communed with my foot. And had a whole conversation of like, what are you here to teach me? What do you want me to know? Why
Yeah.
are you here? Why are you still here after a lot of rest and recuperation? And that's really what it said, is like, healing takes
Takes
what it
time.
takes. It
Yeah.
takes what it takes. And
Yeah.
so, and you can't speed up the
Yeah.
healing. I mean, I think that there, to a degree, we can accelerate healing, but we have to sit with it and we have to honor it.
Because it's not just the physical, it's the whole psyche that's involved too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ballet is one of my
Yeah.
absolute obsessions. I
Yeah.
started when I was 8 years old. I've done it on and off for basically my whole life, and it just brings me so much joy.
And you are a beautiful dancer.
Thank you.
Another obsession is I am obsessed with the deep dive and the personal
You
development.
think?
Do you
Oh my
think? No,
gosh.
and
Obsessed.
I have been for really my whole
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I was the only one in my family. I was kind of the oddball,
The white sheep,
the white sheep.
the spiritual sheep.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. But I've always been like that. So, and both of us are
Mhm.
like totally obsessed. And so if you were a fly in the wall, the conversations would be very much about depth and the human condition,
The human
and
condition
life
and healing and
healing,
yeah, all the things. Yeah.
gratitude, living in this moment.
Another thing you and I have been really into over the last many months actually is fasting.
Fasting,
Yeah.
intermittent fasting.
And getting into longer fasts.
Yeah.
We
For health reasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've
it's
always, I mean, so health is like a huge obsession, lifelong obsession.
I used to bake bread, my own bread. How many years ago, Kate?
I don't know. I wasn't even
You weren't even
alive,
born.
dude.
It was like, probably 50 years ago, I
Yeah.
started baking bread.
When it was not cool. Now it's cool again. Like the sourdough starter thing is like
Right.
a whole movement. Like this is when it wasn't cool to do it. This is when like things came in a can in the 50s, you know, I mean, maybe a
No,
little
no, no,
after
no,
that,
no, it was the 70s.
the
It was
70s.
the
But
70s.
this stuff wasn't like really the thing yet. Like you were ahead of your time.
Avant-garde, is that
You were avant-garde.
Yeah. I'd go to the local, health food store, which is this teeny little store with jars of grains and a wooden floor and
And beans
flowers
and
and beans
honey
and
and
honey, and I got my first bread making book, and anyway, I was a little hippie back then.
yeah.
A little
So
bit of a
that still
hippie.
continues
Yeah.
underneath
Underneath the
a slightly more polished exterior now. So both of us have gotten into Dr. Mindy Pell's. We're
Mhm.
obsessed. I love this woman. I think she's incredible. And she educates a lot about fasting specifically for women. Fast like a girl. Yeah, so we both read that. We've binged so many podcasts. And so you and I pretty regularly do at least like 13 hours of intermittent fasting and push it more often, like depending on
but the whole thing is about intermittent, so that that we're kind of like not having our body
you confuse the
confusing the
body.
body.
Yeah.
Um,
And I do it obviously as still a cycling woman. I do it around my cycle. And
and
then
I just follow her cycle. I follow her lead.
so actually I'm fasting today. I'm probably like 20 something hours
Yeah.
in. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And
Um,
I chose not to because I was feeling more like on the kind of rundown side.
yeah. Yeah.
And since we are headed to Italy next week.
We're just being mindful
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
And
So
that's something that
we're totally into health.
you and I do that a lot. We're very tuned in to ourselves. And
Yeah.
that's something that
Mhm.
I actually really appreciate that we've both developed
Me too.
is like an attunement with our own bodies and how we're feeling.
Well, and that being said, another obsession, I mean, we could go for a while.
I know, we
We
promise we'll
promise
stop.
we're gonna close it, is how we eat and what we eat.
Yeah.
We're just like very, very clean eaters.
It's actually gotten kind of depressing because what happens when you eat so clean,
And if you try and go out to eat,
like God forbid a seed oil passes your palate, then you're
oh,
like, I feel like hell. Like I feel like I'm coming down with the flu. Like,
and it just don't feel good.
damn it. Like
And damn, even that glass of wine,
so depressing.
it's like,
I'm really hoping that like the wine in Italy just has a different kind of effect. So we can have
well,
like a glass of wine here and there without feeling hungover for 3 days.
well, I can't imagine we're gonna even get a bottle. If we do any wine, Kate, it's gonna be,
I know.
I'll speak for
a glass of
myself.
wine.
Yeah, with dinner.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how we do.
And we may just say,
I know.
because we're just kind of,
Yeah.
Anyway, we used to really enjoy wine.
Yeah.
So
Those were the days, baby.
I know. And I'm grateful actually because there's so much about how it affects the brain.
Yeah.
It's poisonous, literally for the brain.
Much to our
Much,
chagrin.
yeah,
That's like really depressing.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Especially when
know.
we're headed to Italy.
I know. I know.
At any rate,
Anyway, part
so
of this is learning to modulate
yeah,
and in moderation.
and not
Yeah.
be, obsessed,
Obsessed.
make any major rules.
This is a really good one.
What's this one?
Okay, I love this. How do you both keep your sense of humor
Mm,
alive while doing such deep work? We actually had a lovely, beautiful client who we adore email us something that was very touching to me not that long ago. And she had been on a group call, and, we were hitting on some very heavy subjects. And she said, "You two, I'm really blown away by your ability to hold a
mm,
lot of people's heaviness, the darkness, the pain.
the grief.
How do you guys do it really?" And it was like, it was such a beautiful email, and it was like, oh, it never even occurred to me that that was like a thing, that we couldn't hold that.
Or that some people don't.
Yeah, but it's true. Most people actually don't really want to go and sit in this kind of stuff at all. They'll avoid it
They will
to their
run.
deathbed.
Yeah.
But what that it reminded me of as soon as she said that is that over the years, what I've always witnessed with people that meet Judy is they'll say, "Oh my gosh, you were a hospice nurse. How did
How
you
did
do
you
it?
do
How did
that?
you sit with people that were on their deathbed, but
Mm,
also navigate the whole family system and all of the grief of a whole family losing a family member?"
yeah.
And you were always like, "Oh, this is not hard for me. Like that was always your superpower."
Well, on one hand, it was almost natural for me, but I used to think that, but now I think that it wasn't that it was that natural. It was just something that I've been gifted with,
Mhm.
actually, because I did grow up having two brothers that died in infancy.
Yeah.
And so, and then it was my sister and me, and then my two brothers who died in infancy. And it was very sad because it was a genetic disorder that's a 50% chance with every boy that they're going to be affected. And it's for the girls, it's a 50% chance that, a child will be a carrier. So it was always just such a sad, sad thing that our family, lived with. But it was normal because it
Yeah.
was normal. And then I had, other deaths in my life.
A lot of people have deaths and they can't sit in the discomfort
I
of
know.
it.
And I
So
thought it was but it's just, thank you for saying that it's like a superpower.
I believe that it really is. I think
And
it comes really naturally
well,
to
it does,
you.
and it's
Yeah.
it's just something that I just feel like I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Like, and so I feel blessed to be good at it because
Mhm.
I know that it's something that probably a lot of people are not. And I just love to be able to presence that with other people is the truth. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
I do.
And I think inside of our work, you and I, number one, we've always said that we can't take our clients any further than we've been willing to go ourselves. You and I have really been willing to go into the underworld, into our own pain and our own discomfort. And we've really learned how to sit in the fire with it inside of ourselves. And once you do it for yourself, it doesn't intimidate you to do it for other people.
But I wouldn't say that's true. Back at you, Kate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's true because
Or not
that's
a blanket statement for
no, it's
everybody.
not.
Well,
So
yeah, I don't, a lot of people won't sit with their own discomfort, so therefore
no,
they would never sit with someone
but
else's.
even sitting with their own discomfort, they don't have actually the skill set, and I'm going to use that for lack of a better word, to be able to really sit and be present for another human being and not make it about them,
Mhm.
not make it about like, oh, this is about me. No, this is always about the person that I'm sitting here with
Mhm.
and just being present for their experience, not my
Right.
experience, but their experience. It's just holding space
Right.
is what it
Right.
is. I think it's something that we both have been gifted with.
I do too. And then of course we have developed many skill sets
Yes.
over years and years and years, our own practical experience, a lot of trainings.
Hmm.
But what I do find is that sitting with a client who is experiencing a lot of their pain or grief bubbling up to the surface, I truly feel like I'm able to hold the container of safety around it.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't take it in, I feel it with them, but I'm able
You don't take
somehow
it
I don't
on.
take it on and I'm somehow able to metabolize it. I think you are as
Yeah.
well. But the reason is it's not like I'm just sitting in the grief or the pain with them just for the sake of that. It's
Mm-mm.
that I know that by doing this, I know, and this is something that we really hold with our people
You
so
totally know.
fiercely is like, there's not just like the idea of hope, there is the promise of hope. There is the promise of transmuting and transforming this into alchemizing it into something so much greater. It really is turning shit into gold.
It's the promise of life on the other
It
side.
is. So, like, I'm
Freedom.
willing to sit with someone and, like, help them midwife
It
this new transformation.
it's an honor.
It
It's
is.
an honor
I
to
know.
do that.
I
It
know.
is such an honor.
So it doesn't ever feel like a burden, ever. And it doesn't actually feel hard to me, but that would be why we have found our way to our right
That's
calling, because
yeah,
that's not hard for us, whereas I understand for other people that would feel
be
unthinkable.
unthinkable.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Totally.
And there's some things that I couldn't do that other people naturally are talented at
Like
or
calculus.
yeah,
I don't know.
like calculus, for example. Be a calculus teacher?
Unthinkable.
Unthinkable, unthinkable.
Yeah.
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 So I do think that we're all sent here on our own path, our own soul's path
We have been
to
infused with unique gifts
yes,
and
and every
talents,
single one of us
and
have.
may we find them and
And
be able
maybe
to
we
use them.
blessed to find them,
Yeah,
Kate.
and really be able
Yeah,
to deliver them to the world.
yeah.
Yeah. Great question. I
Oh,
love that question. Let's just do one more.
do we do one
Let's
more?
do one
Are
more.
people hanging in there with
Let's do
us?
one more.
Okay. A quickie?
Let's do well, I don't know if this is gonna be a quickie. This
Okay.
is a good one too.
Okay.
How do you each define freedom at this
Mm.
stage in
Mm.
your life? How do you define freedom? Or what feels like freedom to you? Or what do you understand about freedom
Yeah.
now, Judes?
Well, the ultimate freedom is being able to unpack and understand the things that haunted me
Mm,
as a child in my family of origin and the humans, my mother, my father, my sister, and the interactions in this family and my part in it, and just feeling haunted for so like I knew in my bones that some things were not right. I really felt like nothing from my mom. And now I understand. She didn't have the capacity at that time in her life to give me what she didn't have inside of her. She was nothing. I mean, not I'm not saying that she was nothing, but she didn't feel like she was anything.
she
She'd got
couldn't give you what she didn't
she
have.
couldn't give it to me. But that I
But it
took
actually didn't mean anything about you.
no,
But that's, of course, what you would have
yeah.
interpreted, that it was about you.
But the work that I've done, the layers, the unpeeling of the onion, I have a whole sense of peace and understanding about it, and not pour pink paint over some bad behavior and some triangulation that was going on in the family and all that kind of stuff, but the freedom from that story, and it doesn't live in me anymore. It just doesn't live there.
Yeah, that's freedom.
It just doesn't live there. And so I'm coming from a whole different beingness. And so then what can occur in my life at 72 from this higher level of beingness?
This
This sense of
vibration of freedom.
this sense of freedom. And then other things too that just maybe more like, on the surface level. I did love being a hospice nurse when I was, and I was really grateful to let go of it because I love freedom. I love to hike up Atalaya on a Tuesday morning because the weather is gorgeous today and say, no, I'm not going to go tomorrow because it's going to be snowing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love that sense of freedom. I love the work that we get to do.
Yeah.
I love the work we get to do. And it's also embedded with a sense of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my own freedom, helping other people free themselves,
Yeah.
but also just be able to have that kind of freedom that it's not a typical job,
Yeah.
that I have to be there for somebody else and they're what they're building and growing. This is something that is from my heart that I get to do.
You're doing it for yourself,
I'm
for
doing it
your
for my
future.
that I get to do. I don't
Yeah.
have to do it.
Right.
And so that's a sense of freedom right there.
It's really the freedom of bringing forth what we were just saying about your unique gifts and talents and self-expression.
And oh
How
my
freeing that is. And also that I know inside of our work, we really feel like we can be ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Need the shield or the
Or the
mask or the costume party.
no, we
We
don't.
are ourselves.
Yeah.
And so what is better than that? And also the freedom, letting go of the angst, being able,
What was the angst about for you?
well, the angst about, shall I say, maybe the misunderstanding that I had about my place in the world and who I
Mhm.
really was based on other people's stuff
Mhm.
that they
Their
were,
stories about you maybe
yeah,
and slash themselves.
and that
Yeah.
ultimately that it was
Yeah.
about themselves. But that sense of freedom that I, again, had always known that something was amiss and I did, and it haunted me.
Mhm.
And I feel really clean and clear without the burden.
Right.
Does that make
It
sense?
does.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you've been able to put an old identity, an old story down and not pick it up anymore, not carry it.
And actually see myself for the first time really
Mm.
properly, like who I really am.
Yeah.
Not I'm not somebody else's story about who I am. I'm me.
Yeah.
And I feel really good about that me
Yeah.
at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
freedom.
and I've been free and I've been a single woman for what you know more than me. What was it, 25 years ago?
I
Or
know more than you.
I don't even know.
24, 25
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
about 25 years
Yeah.
ago. And
Again, we circle back to Diane Keaton.
I know,
I
I
feel
know.
like she's our
She's our
our spirit animal today.
and I'm good with that. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't necessarily be open to be in a relationship, but I'm really good with me.
Mm,
And not about somebody else. I'm
right.
really good with me.
And that's freedom.
And that's freedom.
Yeah.
How about you, Katie girl?
Something that I feel like over the last year, I have created a very different experience of freedom than I ever have before. And this last year, I have let go of so many opinions of other people and expectations, cultural expectations that might have even been unspoken, not necessarily something that someone ever put on me and said, like, you need to be married, you need to be a mother in this life, but that I always felt the pressure of, and I always felt that the outside world had expectations of me that somehow I was falling short of. So much of my freedom that I have stepped into over this last year is really about letting go of the expectations of other people and the constructs of our whole world. And so for me, what has always been my truth is that I've never felt the need to become a mother in this life.
Or the desire to?
Right. The desire to become a mother.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
It hasn't interested me, and I was always open to that changing. I remember saying this to people when I was in my early 20s, and they're like, "Oh, you have plenty of time. That's gonna change." And I'm like, "Well,
We'll
that's
see.
number 1, that's a really rude thing to say to someone, but number 2, we'll see." Like, and I've always been open to it, but as it has evolved and as I've stepped more into my own authenticity and I get to really check in with what my core values are, what lights me up in this life, the goals that I want to pursue myself, not because someone outside of me told me that I needed to. The freer that I have felt to be able to actually own my desires. And it's interesting too, because over the years, I can look back on relationships that I was in. I feel like the reason that I stayed in them is that it somehow legitimized me as a woman
in the eyes of
in
others.
the eyes of others.
But
I
you don't give a hoot anymore.
I I don't give a you know what at
Yeah.
all. Over the years, I have felt misunderstood. I have felt like somehow the world sees me as less of a person if I'm not married and if I'm not a mother because
But
of the role that women are still, even in 2025, are expected to step into.
I mean, what you're saying, Kate, is absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, there are roles, there are expectations, cultural expectations. And some people are really uncomfortable with a single woman, and especially a gorgeous single woman. Like, so what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why aren't you with a partner? Why
Yeah.
aren't you hooked in your elbow, arm to arm with like a man?
This is very act two of Our Town, which is the
Yes.
commentary of we go two by two in this life. That's we pair up, and it's very Noah's Ark, and people don't necessarily know what to do with like the lone lioness wandering out there on the savannah. It's a
They're
little uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. They're
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
and I felt that. I've definitely like people don't know what category to put me in necessarily.
Well,
Now I don't care. I really like that's been such a relief. I remember it was about a
well,
year ago,
that's that's the key here, Kate. That's what's
last
changed.
fall, and this was, again, on the heels of MDMA work, because I just remember really sitting inside myself and feeling still the unspoken pressure from the outside world
Mhm.
to fill certain roles and to walk out certain life milestones, marriage, children. And again, I'm like less of a person. I'm less understood. I'm less valued. I'm less loved if I haven't done those things.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. My freedom has been in really checking in with myself and finding my most authentic true north that doesn't involve that. And again, it's not that, like, as you said, it's not about, well, I'm with a partner, so now I get to be valuable, or I'm not with someone, so I'm not valuable. Can I hold on to my own core value completely separate of anything?
Well, and I've experienced that over the last 25 years as well,
Mhm.
as a single woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
The world doesn't really know
people,
what to do
well,
with us.
married couples are uncomfortable
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that's a blanket statement,
Totally
period,
across the
but
board.
across the board. But it's like, so we don't know quite what to do with Judy.
Yeah.
And I'm also very independent, and you're very independent.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean that we could never have partners either. It's just that, I mean, what you're really sharing is that you're really following your, as you said, your true north.
At times, I've stayed inside of relationships in order to be more palatable to the world. Like, I can really look back on that, and I can
You
really
didn't
see
know it at
that.
the
I had
time,
no idea.
obviously.
Yeah. And I don't wanna do that anymore. Like,
No.
if I'm in a relationship, it's because it is so freaking fantastic, and it has enhanced my life to such a degree that, like, I love my life. I have designed my life very carefully and specifically. This has not been by accident. This did not just fall into my lap. I have designed this. And so if someone is going to come in and we're going to stand shoulder to shoulder and we're going to link arms and we're going to do this thing together, it's because this person makes my life that much better.
Ditto.
Yeah. That is my understanding of freedom at
Mm,
this point, and everything that you were sharing, feeling free from the things that have haunted me,
the
the
shackles.
shackles of the past, of
Yeah.
old, whether they were identities or old stories or experiences with other people. One of the big ones has been with my dad. I've had
Yeah.
such a challenged relationship, and that has made me feel like I am in absolute prison for
Mm.
really my entire life. And also, again, a theme for me for sure has been being misunderstood, and other people outside of their more acquaintances that have a lot of opinions, and they've taken my dad's side. They don't understand what the experience has been inside of it for me, and they're not interested in finding out what my experience is, and they've really judged me for it, and just being like, I
Oh,
just don't care. They can think whatever they want, but no one will know what my interior experience has been, but I don't need the validation anymore. So the
and that is
freedom from that,
just huge.
and it's even just the freedom from And if anyone is in the coaching industry, you might experience this as well, or have experienced this, where the definition of success has been very specific inside of the coaching
Mhm.
industry. And a lot of it is how it looks on the outside.
It's all geared for how it looks on the outside.
I can actually kind of understand, how are you supposed to necessarily like presence results unless it's like through, again, the designer bags, or
The
like
lamb
if you're not
flying first
flying first
class.
class, then like you haven't made it. And so it's a lot of
You
like
you
I've
have to show you make it somehow.
somehow, and the coaching industry had decided that it has to look a certain way. It has to look, with houses and cars
And
and
Louboutins.
Louboutins. And I have so moved away from that. And the thing that feels really authentic to me, and you'll know this about me, Judes, is that I really value aesthetics and beauty. I
Totally.
always have.
I mean, you have a degree in art
I
history and you were
do.
a tour guide and you like art, the Renaissance, just
I just soak all of this up. And so for me, how I present myself, the environment that I live in feels incredibly important to me. And so having an experience of beauty around me every day is very important.
Mhm.
And what's really beautiful is that what I've been able to let go of are all of the external things that people have said are important, in terms of like, if you don't presence this, then you're not successful. So I
Keeping up
don't
with the
feel that I need
Joneses.
to keep up with the Joneses, but I
Mhm.
can own that I do have a deep love of aesthetics and beauty
Oh, absolutely.
and quality, and that I can lean into that, but I don't need to do it because it's for show, if that makes sense.
Oh, it totally
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean, I know it from the inside, just knowing you well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the aesthetics that you even tap into. I mean, like you're reading
Yeah.
a book on what was the most recent one that was the art history book that you read
Well, I'm reading one about Fra Angelico right now,
right
but I
now?
was reading about Leonardo da Vinci.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like your whole environment
Mhm.
and your values, it's just is beauty. Whatever that, is beauty.
And so I think
Real beauty.
what you and I are talking about here that feels like freedom now is allowing the things that feel truly authentic
Mhm.
to shine through, like our real core values, but letting go of the ones that are not authentic, that were projected onto us by other people, that we took on, that we need to present somehow,
Yeah.
and that's not real.
Well, we live in a world today that is very much focused on what appears on the outside.
Yeah.
Social media has really changed everything.
Mhm.
And I think that we are beginning to, some folks are beginning to swing to the other side,
Yeah.
really wanting to have more authenticity,
Craving
craving it,
authenticity. Yeah.
and also, putting phones aside and
Yeah.
not being glued to it all the time. So I think we might, it's kind of like this swing,
Yeah,
this,
the pendulum swing that goes
pendulum
back and
swing. It
forth.
goes back and forth. And I think for over the last, 10 whatever years, it's been really swung to the side of what does it look like on the outside? It's all about the masks
Mhm.
and all about putting on a show, which is all fake. I think people are really asking for more authenticity
Yeah, I do too.
today. And so we will be swinging more on to that side. Hopefully, the freedom, when we're talking about freedom, is to not be hooked in to the the culture at the time,
The peanut
the
gallery.
peanut gallery, and just sensing that there are people that really do desire more authenticity and lean into that.
And it's less about what it looks like on the outside and more about what it feels like on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The experience on the inside.
Yeah,
So I think that is freedom,
I do too.
the ultimate
Yeah.
freedom.
Anyway, I love this conversation, and we're definitely going to do more Q&As in the future. So again, if you have a question that you'd love us to answer, and it can also be a personal question, like a coaching
Oh,
question that you have for
absolutely.
us,
Absolutely.
how to reach out to us through the socials.
Through the
Yeah.
socials. I guess the socials are good for some things.
Yeah, of course.
Of
Absolutely.
course.
Yep. There's still plenty of value out there.
There is still plenty of
Yes.
value
Yeah.
out there. Yeah. Pick and choose.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us inside of our Q&A with K&J today in The Becoming. And we look forward to seeing you in the next conversation.
Absolutely. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Thank you so much for listening to The Becoming.
We'd love for you to join our growing community. Please subscribe to the podcast, share this episode with a friend, and leave a 5-star review.
It truly means the world to us and helps others to find their way here too. We'll see you in the next episode.